on that Christmas parable that we all base this time on. Enjoy your summer break, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, members. What I'm going to do is to do the traditional run through some of the stats and then to acknowledge and thank people who need thanking. The House this year has set on 95 days. We've had 28 extended sitting hours and a bit. We've had 14 hours under urgency, and I say to the Leader of the House, while it might be a lot less than in the past, I'm not sure that any of the hours was necessary. We've sat for a total of 569 hours. The government has introduced 60 bills, 55 government bills have been passed, 33 members' bills have been introduced. Of those, 12 have bit the dust and 6 have passed through the process. There have been 3 local bills introduced and 2 of those have been passed. There have been 1,126 oral questions to ministers, 5 to members, and I'm slightly behind the Leader of the House in that my stats are as at last night. There had been 40,127 written questions lodged, and there's quite a few of them left to be answered. Members, I would like to go on and make some thanks to the people. First of all, to all members of the House, because you have all been generous to me and in different ways helpful. I want to specifically acknowledge the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition. I think arguably one has the most important job in the country and the other has the most difficult job in the country. But I think all of us know both of them put their hearts and their souls into their respective jobs. I want to make a special mention of the Honourable Paula Bennett, who, through a very difficult issue for me, has been enormously helpful, open to me, but also I think has done some really important work for staff and members in this House. I want to go on to staff members. I want to make special mention of David Stevenson, who we acknowledged earlier in the day, and his extensive team, which involves the corporate staff, security, messengers, library, office staff, and people around the electorates. All of them are necessary and important to make sure that we can do our jobs well. I want to acknowledge the catering staff and the cleaners who are contracted staff. I'm still having trouble with some of the long-standing cleaning staff who think that after 25 years of calling me Trevor, they've got to stand back in the corridor and call me something else. But we're slowly getting back to a good relationship. I think the Honourable Ruth Dyson, who other than the Honourable Shane Jones, is probably the biggest contributor to extra questions to the government, might well be quiet, to the opposition, might well be quiet at this point. I want to acknowledge the press gallery, who have had and always have a tough year, but there's been some incidents this year that have made their life harder than normal. And I want to make a special comment and acknowledgement to Tova O'Brien, who chose a principled, compassionate and caring approach to a story that she chose not to break in the public. And I think that was something that should be acknowledged, something which is quite unusual, and something which I think was important to an individual. She put the individual over the story. I want to thank members of the Business Committee, especially the Honourable Jerry Brownlee, with whom I think I get on quite well, although I think both of us occasionally seem to act in other ways, and Chris Hipkins from the Leader of the House. People know that I've known Chris for a very long time, and I think it's fair to say that he's coming out of. I think of him sometimes as an apprentice, but if he's an apprentice, I'm not sure who I am. So I think I'm going to leave that image alone. I want to thank my fellow presiding officers, the Honourable Anne Tolley, Porter Williams, and Andrew Murphy. They do an incredibly hard job very well. I get the stuff where the public might be more interested, and they get the hard grind, and they often have to make decisions which are not that popular with people. In fact, more often than I do, not that popular with members of the House, and all of them do it, I think, with a good knowledge and a growing knowledge of the rules and with considerable integrity. I want to thank my small but well-formed team in my office, led by Carly Bromley and Jessie Manning and Roland Todd. Roland, we have added to your responsibilities in the last year or so, and I think I can share with the House that it's not unusual for there to be a difference as far as the count is concerned at the end of the day, but I'm yet to be informed of a time when Roland was wrong. Members, I want to wish everyone all the best for the festive season. Spend time with the people who you care about. Be safe and come back here refreshed. Before I put the motion, as people sometimes do when they scribble notes, they miss out people who are very important. And I do want to acknowledge the people in front of me, David and his team, Raf, who is moving across to his new role. I want to especially acknowledge Andy Lindsay, who I think members should understand that her knowledge and her efficiency is a very important part of our democracy. So the chamber staff, IPR, people who run the select committees, all of those who make the office of the clerk work well, thank you very much. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. If anyone votes no, they're going to be in trouble. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. The House stands adjourned until 2 p.m. on Tuesday, the 12th of February.